Welcome to the weekly watch of March 31st, 2014. I'm your host, Darkly10000, and with me, as always, is Nathan.
Hello.
And Truman.
Hey.
And so, we're just gonna get right into it and go straight for the weekly watch.
Because none of us finished the weekly watch.
What are you talking about? We totally finished. But it's the season end.
Yeah, it's our season finale.
We finale along with every other season.
Except we took our break before the finale.
Shut up.
So, starting with the only show that didn't finish, Nisekoi. Which was... What happened in it?
This was the episode where they were all like...
there are at least 2 weeks worth of episodes. Remember?
Oh, I guess that's true.
They went
Well, I mean, both of them were basically the oh, you have the key. Oh, we knew each other beforehand. Oh,
okay.
You're both the girls.
The first episode was...
Literally, you're both the girls.
Now I remember.
No, that was the second episode. The first episode was Onodera hanging out with them and showing him her like secret spot, and him being like, "Oh, I love Onodera so much. Now let's go to."
Nope. And then they're like, "Oh, she's the girl." They make it very clear. Oh, she's the girl.
Yeah, no, they make it clear that Onodera's the girl. And then in the next episode, they make it clear that Kirasaki's the girl.
And this is why I dropped the manga, because I fucking hate that so much.
What if I told you that the next episode you get to see the picture of the girl? Or...
I mean, I assume it's the fourth girl that was in the closing picture.
Yeah, that's what I assume too.
That's just my guess.
Crap. And then finally all the characters will be out!
I guess that's true.
Except for the fifth girl.
But... I don't really have much to say, because I hate the story of this. I hate Nisekoi so much. Like, it's funny, and it's great, and I wish I could like it, but I hate the cock teasiness of it. The, no. No. I hate that so much.
I'm just so surprised that he's never asked about the photos from like 10 years ago.
That was kind of weird.
It's like, of course we have fucking photos.
Well, they had one photo, which actually, by itself, is kind of weird. Who has one photo of something?
Oh, Yakuza bosses, apparently?
I mean, I guess...
You don't want all that family to be like photographic proof or something.
That's pretty true. You got a good point there.
But all confirmations get stopped because it just breaks the key in the locket.
Yeah, that something actually happened, but it then gets fixed in 10 seconds.
Exactly.
No, he doesn't have the locket. We can't figure out who has what.
Okay, no, he doesn't have the locket, but it's getting fixed. Like, it's like, oh, this problem will be resolved in a few days, in a week, or whatever, and he'll have it.
Now we kind of know that it's the other girl. And I mean, it was kind of obvious when there was another girl. They like, what, I think in the opening scene, did they have her, but like she was blacked out or something?
Yeah, it was like that for the blue-haired girl until she was introduced.
Yeah. I know, I thought it was kind of, I just had guessed that she was the girl. I didn't actually know. That's a guess.
The fifth girl.
And apparently there's also a fifth girl.
Yeah, it turns out to be Onodera's little sister.
Yeah, I see.
So, she's definitely not in the running. Nowhere near the running.
So...
In fact, so far out of the running, it's like Pluto.
Pluto out of the running.
Yeah.
Like Pluto as a planet out of the running.
Right. Scientifically proven to be out of the running.
She's gonna be the girl.
She's gonna... See, but that's the thing, Nate. They're at the very end of it, when Nisekoi finally finishes, there will be no girl. And that's why I hate it.
It's like, I've recently realized with Nisekoi that my favorite chapters from the manga were all the times when it didn't focus on the main harem. because there are a few good like chapters about Shu and Ruri, the glasses girl.
Yeah.
And that's what recently came out in the manga that I really enjoyed. The rest of the harem they're just going to be having fun times.
Sounded kind of dirty.
Sometimes.
What?
All right, is it time to get to the events, which is the series closings?
The series closings. Let's just go over each one of them in our normal order, real quick.
So, Kill la Kill.
Yeah, the last two
first?
episodes of Kill la
No.
Kill. What do you mean no?
I was thinking Kill la Kill and Samurai Flamenco.
Because they're the longest running ones?
No, because they were the best.
Fine. Let's go with Noragami.
Actually, I have some serious words about Samurai Flamenco that I have grievances I need to air. All right, Noragami first though.
Yeah, Noragami.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Do you guys have stuff to say?
It was a cool last fight, is what I really want to say. And I wish that the series was a lot more like that. Because what I got from that was like a Rurouni Kenshin. You know, Rurouni Kenshin, where it's like...
Yeah.
There's that part where he's like, the first time he meets a manslayer and puts the girl in danger. So he almost kills that guy by just losing his shit and stuff. There's that whole part. It's very similar parallel to that.
This whole like last 2 episodes, 1 episode, whatever. It's what the series should have been, instead of what's his name? Was it Seki? No, that was just his name as a sword. What was the kid's name? Yukine. The series should have been cool fights and other stuff. Instead, it was Yukine bitching for 7 out of the 12 episodes.
I'd say say 6. 6. Come on.
Okay, fine. 6 out of 12. 50% of the show was Yukine just bitching, and at least 3 episodes were just set up. And that was my major problem with the show. Is I loved the art style. I thought the whole set, the story, universe was really cool. But they set up all this stuff and then just did nothing with it. They had all the tools all set up and nice, and then they just had this story with Yukine bitching, and then also another complaint, just other than Yukine bitching, was the whole thing with the girl. What was the girl's name again?
Hiyori.
Which girl?
Hiyori, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know. The whole thing with Hiyori at the end fight felt so forced. When he's like, "Oh, she's the reason you're not, who I want you to be. I'm going to not kill her, but just, mess with her a bit. Because that'll get you."
Well, it does get him.
I mean, it does, but it seemed like they were just trying to force ways to not have the Ragu?
No,
Ragu?
What's his name?
Mask Guy. To try to keep Mask Guy from just actually
Robbo.
trying to kill her.
That's it. Robbo.
First he steals her memories, then he kidnaps her, and he destroys her memories.
He
But at
doesn't
no point-
kidnap her.
Okay, sorry, the one time when he grabs her and threatens her.
Yeah. He puts his sword to her throat or whatever in the middle of the fight.
And then at some point also that he what's his sweatsuit guy, Sweat Yato. Yato he starts throwing Yukine as a boomerang, and I'm and Yukine just starts spinning around and then flies back to his hand. What?
What? That's how he always came to him. He would transform then fly back.
It felt like they just didn't. They had all the ingredients to make a great show, and they just did nothing with it, and it kind of bugged that bugged me a lot.
I'm still gonna say it's a good show. Just it'd be way better if it gets a second season where we don't have
Exactly.
half of it be of Yukine just fucking being a whiny bitch.
This show was but I have such high hopes for the second season because they got all the crap with Yukine out of the way, and they showed us they could do an awesome fight scene. And I hope that they
I
more of it.
hope I would be so happy if there was a second season that was just what the show should have been. That would be awesome. I'd probably love it because I enjoyed it, but God, it was so much of just Yukine bitching.
Just way too much.
Yeah. So what'd you guys give it at the end?
I'll give it a solid 7. Because I enjoyed it, but there's still that huge just chunk that I can't stand.
Nate?
Yeah, I'm stuck on the fence between 6 and 7, so I'm going with 6 because half of it was Yukine being a bitch. But it is, very, like I said, very hopeful for a second season that it will actually have good shit in it because it's not going to be half Yukine bitching.
50% of this show.
It was. I'm going with Nate. It was for me. It was a toss between 6 and 7, but I think really the tipping point is, I don't think I could recommend this show to someone, just because it. I would say, oh, it's really it would be it's cool if they did what you thought they were going to do with it, but really it's just this one little kid bitching for 6 episodes. And I couldn't really recommend the show, so I have to give it a 6. It was not bad, but it just falls so short of what it could have been.
When you say you don't recommend the show, I think that's a bit going too far. I say,
I wouldn't specifically recommend it.
I would wait to recommend it until after a second season's out and see how that.
Was second season confirmed?
No.
You guys keep talking about it.
No.
Okay.
I'm just hoping.
Until it's confirmed, I'm gonna assume this is all that happens, and if someone asked me for recommendations for shows, this is not one that would come up on my list, and that's why I have to give it a 6.
Okay, yeah, I would not put it on a recommended list, but I mean, I feel like this is going to get a second season.
I don't know. There's been shows that have been hinted even stronger at a second season that have gotten nothing.
I'm not saying that the show's hinting at a second season. I mean, I think enough people will like it for a second season to come out.
Has anyone seen the popularity charts? I haven't looked at them.
No.
Anyone? Either of you guys? No. I'm sure we can look that up at some point. All right. So, next show?
Super Sonico?
Super Sonico. All right. How did you guys enjoy? Actually, I don't even remember what episode 11 was.
Christmas.
I don't really remember.
I can't hate it because it's Christmas. Christmas is a great time.
I have a theory about this show.
That it was supposed to come out in winter?
It did come out in winter. It was supposed to come out in fall.
That's what I meant. Beginning of...
Because they had...
It ended with a winter episode?
They had a Halloween episode with the zombie one. That was about a month in. Which would have been around October 31st.
So you think it should have came out
I basically thought about that, fall thing on just the last 2 episodes, but that October thing really brings it all together.
Is that me?
Is what you...
So,
wow, that's actually really true. Wow, they just messed up.
They failed at everything, so they had to push it back.
That's kind of sad.
That's how bad the show is. It can't even air on time.
I'm going to say, though, that the last episode is probably the best way they could have ended a series like this.
I thought the ending was... It was the ending the show deserved.
It was a big,
which is kind of like
cheery concerts, everyone watching, everyone reminiscing, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
I guess.
Everyone was there.
I want to hear your guys' final scores on this.
I didn't give that any thought at all.
Nate, I'm sure you.
I gave it a 3.
A 3? Why?
Because the show was bad. Super Sonico is a boring main character, and she doesn't have a good, like, the supporting cast is not there enough to make it good at all.
Alright, well, I gave it a 6 because I mean I enjoyed watching it. It was fun, light. I mean it wasn't aiming for, #1 show of the season. But what it was aiming for, it did. It was a, lighthearted Moe show. And
there are far better ones out there.
And there are better ones out there. I won't say it was some,
better ones that it could have looked at and been like, oh, we should do this. But instead they didn't and just made a boring, fairly... She had no personality. She's so boring.
Well, I mean, her personality. I mean, everything she did was in line with the character that has already been, set. Like, I mean, she wasn't created out of nothing. She has, character attributes and stuff that have already been predetermined. Like the whole, like, I don't know, most of the stuff actually.
But I never get a sense of personality from her.
I guess that's probably true.
Like that's the problem.
So, I gave it a 6. I enjoyed it, but it's I realize I fully realize it's not a great show. So
I also gave it a 6 just right now because it was like a roller coaster of this is the greatest thing ever to this is the worst thing ever. Just almost every other episode, I would jump between those two extremes.
So I looked it up, and it is one of the worst rated shows on Mal.
Really?
It is worse than Inu by a lot.
Well, people like Inu.
I don't
people like
Inu.
And it is okay. It's ranked at 5,250. Inu is 3,900.
But Inu has like an average of like an 8 or something, or like a 7-8, doesn't it?
I also
it has an average of a 6.7.
Oh, well, still, I don't understand how anyone likes Inu.
I don't understand how Mal works. People on Mal are weird.
People on Mal are weird.
Still, that it's so low says something. The only show on my list that is worse is Sekai de Ichiban.
Ow.
Sorry, Jay.
No, that's totally different. That's not Ichizan. Is that Ichizan or Ichiban?
Ichiban.
Yeah,
Sekai.
yeah.
Ichiban.
That's wrestling.
That's wrestling. The wrestling show.
Oh God!
It's literally the only one worse on my list.
Wow, it's pretty bad. Well then, I guess you guys are not going to enjoy my pick for next season.
Well, what I was gonna say is, I mean, you basically said your pick is gonna be the other White Fox anime, which we'll get to later, and I'm still enjoying White Fox's stuff. I'm just hoping that they'll get better choices.
I mean, so do I. I'm not saying the show was perfect or very good. It was okay.
It was okay.
It was definitely enjoyable.
No, it wasn't.
It was somewhat enjoyable half the time.
For you guys.
Yeah. I think that's the best way of putting it.
It was an extremely annoying and awful process.
Alright.
Nathan hates fun.
Alright.
Space Dandy. Confirmed for
Space
second
Dandy?
season.
Oh, I know. I was really happy about that.
I don't
know what I would have...
I don't consider it a second season. I just think it's two different parts of the same season.
It probably is.
It's a second season. Like, I don't know why you don't, because it's definitely a second season.
Wait. Are they going to have a new opening? Because that's what really determines it here.
What do you mean? Shows have openings, change openings halfway through.
Yeah, but
That happens at times.
That's when you feel a season.
This one already had 2 openings.
That's because they cut out the bullshit English opening. That wasn't that bad, but still.
They just...
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad.
Oh, it wasn't.
But I like the Japanese opening better.
The Japanese opening is pretty good. Which
I remember it was really funny, because you were like...
It was literally the week after I brought it up in this chat.
Yeah, you like bitched to us about it, and then the next week is they changed it. I thought that was really funny.
It's like the internet heard me. They're just like, oh man, people are bitching on Skype.
The reason I say it's not a second season is because I feel like they did all the writing and the voice acting for this in one session. Like, I don't see these being like separate sessions that they did all this in.
I don't know. I would say not. I would say...
No, it's official.
Maybe. I mean, they already...
It's just season.
It is already official. You got a point.
You have to deal with it, Nathan.
I know I have to deal with it, but that's just...
It's a second season. They called it the second season.
Yeah,
that's
no.
What it is.
Once we start going, I'll start calling it the second season once it's actually going. But right now, I feel like it should be just Space Dandy Part 2.
That's second season.
It's
season 2. Season 2.
It'd be Space Dandy Season 1 Part 2.
Season 1 Part 2?
That is the longest stupid title.
Oh my god. That's dumb. That's even worse than shows that put, like, what, apostrophes at the end of the thing.
No, exclamation points.
Like,
the worst are other exclamation points. Just add it on.
I wouldn't actually call it that. I would just call it Space Dandy. Because it's Space Dandy.
So,
all right.
So what did we have? We had fishing for a chameleon.
Well, even before that, I think we should, because we didn't talk about it. The one before that was the book one, right?
Oh, I totally forgot about that one.
I guess.
The book one was the trippiest shit. Like, I had no idea what I was watching that entire thing.
Everything was all grayed out.
Yeah, apparently it was a time loop at the end because they continuously changed the media of the thing they couldn't see or couldn't remember. It was like, what the fuck is going on? It got weird. And then, then the opposite is the last episode, which is kind of just like, what's his name? The robot falling in love.
You forgot about the chameleon.
Yeah, QT. Oh, I get. Wait, wasn't that? Which episode was that?
That was episode 11, I think.
Yeah. The episode before the last one.
Or episode 12. Yeah.
12 was the robot.
Was 11 the weird book one?
No, 11 was the fishing. 10 was the book one.
No, there's 13 episodes of Space Dandy.
Oh, shit. Ah!
Yeah. So 11...
God, we're all confused.
11 was the time, the memory erasing book one. I wouldn't call it time. It's just memory erasing.
Book with a Schrodinger's cat joke kind of thing. I think that was the best part of it.
I guess.
It's like, we caught this alien, but we don't know how. Also, if you look at it, it's no longer in existence.
Well, that is in existence, you just forget.
And a vortex of math. Can't forget the vortex of math.
I liked the part where the math was floating up and just flying away.
No, it wasn't floating up and flying away. It was being sucked down onto the book planet thing.
No, even before that.
Before that?
Even before that, yeah, like the math on the page just started floating away from the page. I just saw it a few days
because
ago.
the book thing was draining the information.
No, like before that. Like before the book did the whole drain thing, just while the guy was working on his equation, the math was just flying off the page. Like not fast, it was just floating off the page.
Huh. I don't remember that. Okay.
Yup.
It's been too long.
That's why it was weird, because it didn't make any sense. Yeah, I just saw it a few days ago. So
okay.
That's why I remember.
But then there was the chameleon
episode. Which was the fishing episode.
That one I was kind of about. I don't know, it just didn't...
It's like at the end, the ending where he's all like, yes, even the person next to you can be a chameleon. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm surrounded by the reptilians.
The reptilian. The episode didn't really do it for me. I was kind of unimpressed with the chameleon one. I don't know about you guys.
Whoa, what about some guy trying to out Dandy the Dandy?
That one was really good. I did like
But that was only the last
after
like 3 minutes.
exactly like the very end where the chameleon like changed the shape, and he was pretending to be Dandy and then pretending to be the other guy. That was interesting, but all before that, I was kind of just like, eh.
Yeah, it was kind of a meh episode. But still, Dandy just dandying it up.
Yeah, it was not like a bad episode. It was a middle of the ground kind of.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'll say that.
Last episode, I didn't care.
Last episode was strangely
dandyless. It was dandyless. I wanted more dandy.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, not just. I guess dandyless is the reason, but it was just kind of cliche. It was not what the ending to Space Dandy should have been, you know?
Well, it's not
because
the ending.
It wasn't an ending.
Wait, what?
Because it wasn't an ending. It was the mid-season break.
No, but even then, mid-season break of Samurai Flamenco was one of the greatest things that ever happened.
Yeah, I know. It was a pretty... I don't know.
But Samurai Flamenco has a story.
Yeah.
Space Dandy doesn't have this story.
I guess.
But also, I don't feel like QT should carry the season end.
Exactly. Like, it wasn't a good episode to end on. There's so many... There's so many other episodes that we've seen would have been a better finishing point, you know?
Space Race.
Or even pausing point. I mean, personally, I would have said Space Race because that was my favorite episode.
Oh no, I think we all agree that was the best episode of
Space Race was the best episode, I would say, easily.
It was the most over-the-top episode.
Which is really what the show excelled at. It excelled when it was over the top.
But it wasn't okay. It has to be over the top in the right way. And
what would be the wrong?
I don't know exactly how to explain it, but like
the first episode. The first episode was a bit too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Really, I loved the first.
I loved it too, but I was
the end of the first episode is good.
It wasn't what I was expecting.
The build up into it was kind of boring.
I mean, for me, the first episode was actually one of my favorites. So, yeah. I loved the even over the topness of it.
Christ.
The especially over the topness of it. So
just Christ. Okay.
It seemed like a weird place. All right, so scores.
I'll give it an 8. It's Space Dandy. It's the dandiest of the dandies.
Nate.
7.
Yeah, I went with 8 myself as well.
Okay. I don't feel there were enough good episodes to bring it up that high.
For me, I mean, there was the good episodes were awesome. I loved the good episodes.
Then you got a dog episode.
Yeah, then there were episodes like the dog episode, and like that one was just really eh.
It was boring.
And then that one was just boring. That one was just straight up boring. And then I don't want to fault him on doing the really artsy episodes. Like I like the fact that they stepped out of the box to do them. But like then it just got so mixed up. There's the great episodes, the bad episodes, and then now there's also these really artsy episodes that are just out of place and kind of can't really fall into another category. That's how I saw it. So I gave it an 8 because just how great the good episodes were just far outshadows the other stuff, and I liked the fact that they really stepped out of the box on their artsy episodes.
I think it's just a great series.
Nate, anything else to
add? I wouldn't call it a great series. It was.
But there's a season 2 coming. There's a season 2 coming. We can't close the book entirely yet.
No, but it was enjoyable. And that's about it. Like, there were episodes I really enjoyed, and episodes where I was just like, ugh. I kind of wish I hadn't watched that. And other episodes were like, okay, whatever. There were worse ways to spend my time.
Can't believe there's already confirmed season
overall,
2.
It kind
of
hit all over the spectrum, you know?
Yeah. Which is why I can't give it something like an 8.
But
that seems just a little bit too high.
It hits so many different spectrums that I think like almost anyone could watch it, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean that's why. But you know, that's why it's up on our
watch
scales.
it versus being good is different.
Okay.
Which is why I say it's a 7. Something that anybody can watch.
So, Samurai Flamenco?
Are we going into the Samurai Flamenco?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I want to start by saying I hated the ending to this series.
Really?
I hated it. And not the entirety of the last episode. The actual how they finished the series, I thought that was, you know, pretty solid. You know, the whole it was okay. The whole, you know, he's gonna show him love by getting naked. And
that was a thing.
It was pretty Samurai Flamenco. I was fine with that. What I really hated though is the little epilogue part. And the reason I hate that is I mentioned it earlier in Nisekoi, when I despise when a show will just cut, like, oh, okay, everything's over, and end result, nothing changed. I hate nothing changed endings. And that's what this ended up being. At the very end, the girls, everyone's still doing their thing, even up to the police guy. Goto?
Yeah.
Even the police guy is still, you know, texting himself because he is now back to believing in his fake girlfriend again.
I don't think he's texting himself.
Yeah, remember he got a text from his girlfriend who is in Guatemala. Like, they have the whole, what is it? You know, emotional ending where the girlfriend phone says, I'm going on
What
a
if
trip,
he actually got a different girlfriend that's in Guatemala?
No, I mean, it's because he asked him, like, I thought your girlfriend was going on a trip. Like, oh, well, she's in Guatemala.
Yeah,
and
that's a trip.
It's definitely obvious he's still texting the dead girl.
I don't believe that.
I thought that was extremely obvious. I mean, from the scene right beforehand where she's going on a trip. And then, oh, the trip was to Guatemala, and by the way, we're still talking because I'm still crazy and nothing got resolved. I hated the nothing got resolved ending.
Yeah.
That really bugs me because that's a major pet peeve of mine. Is the nothing got resolved endings. And I don't know, I'm kind of just going to go full on to my rant.
Oh, joy.
Just as a whole now, the entire second half was just, the show lost its way. You know? I think that's how I have to put it.
How I heard it was put, to quote some people, was they jumped the shark, but they thought that wasn't enough, so they jumped a bigger shark. Then they jumped 2 sharks. Then they jumped 2 sharks that were eating another shark. And then they tried jumping a plane that was full of sharks. And then in the last arc, they tried to do the little bunny hop.
I mean, just like so many parts of the second half fell short. Like, I thought the whole, you know, there was like 3 episodes with I guess not the whole second half. I guess it was kind of just the beginning of the, the Rangers, the Flamenco Rangers.
Yeah, Flamen Rangers.
I never got into the Flamen Rangers. I thought it kind of felt like a weird tacked on thing. They tried to just change it up. But once the Flamen Rangers were gone, I was actually back into it. And then the whole last arc, it was kind of weird, but I felt it was really good because, you know, it gave a more personal it brought it back to the personal feel.
Dude, that last villain just is a dick.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the best way to put it. He's a dick.
Just to an absurd level.
But, I mean, one thing I can't always say is the first half of the series is incredible. If it would have been a 12-episode series, it would have been a major contender for my top 5. just I loved the entire first half of the series, and just the ending to it. Just the whole first half was beautiful, and the second half it felt unnecessary. I think is that the thing. Like there were parts I enjoyed, a lot of parts of it I enjoyed, but it just felt so unnecessary after the first half. Okay, I'm done.
You got anything to add, Nathan?
I don't really care about like the final ending thing. That didn't bother me at all. But I loved the scene where he doesn't know what to do, but he's trying to show love. So,
No, I love the scene where he's like, I won't fight you as Flamingo. I'll fight you as myself. Throws off his boxers.
from that part until he actually confronts Goto it's pretty good. You're like, oh my god, I can't believe he's doing this. And then when he starts he proposes marriage to Goto, I lost my shit. I was pulling my hair out laughing. And then he just spends 30 seconds yelling Baka.
Just back and forth.
Yeah, it wasn't even back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
It starts off back and forth, and then he does a 30-second Baka, 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 Baka. Oh my god, I couldn't. My stomach was hurting because I was like, I don't get. How does it get to this point where he is naked, proposing, and calling him an idiot all at the same time?
Classic samurai flamenco.
That's pretty flamenco right there.
It is flamenco.
It's weird. If you say, it's flamenco, it means you can either have this really stupid point, or you could have this absurd point that doesn't make any sense but happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's such a weird show. What would you guys give it?
Final scores?
Nathan, you picked it.
I gave it an 8.
An 8?
Because, I felt... Actually, honestly, I gave it an 8 right after I saw it, which, I was kind of mad with the ending. When I don't know, I'll have to give it some more time. I might bump it to a 9, averaging out both halves. The first half is a high 10. Second half, I'm not sure how I want to view the second half as a whole. Right now it's an 8. Honestly, I'll probably bump it up to a 9 after I think about it some more.
That's what I gave it. I'm feeling you feel like a reverse JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on it. Where you hated the first part of JoJo.
It kind of is, except I don't hate the second half. It's just it's not the first half, It's just so much not the first half. I think it is kind of like a reverse JoJo, though.
Yeah, the first half is better, but I don't know, I give it an 8 myself. And I think that's justified, because the beginning of the entire show is pretty slow. The first 3 or so episodes are slow. It isn't until he gets popular and he gets the stationary weapons that it starts to pick up.
Those weapons are so dumb.
The weapons, all his weapons were very dumb, actually.
They have a museum full of his weapons.
It's so dumb.
But until he gets to that point, the show is really slow, and I could see people dropping it because of that. And that's a fault with the show. And then it happens again halfway through. So I think it's a good show, and as long as you can make it through those 2 little 3-episode spurts where it's kind of boring, it's completely worth the watch. It is very good.
I'll also say 8, because I do love the whole "what is flamenco" thing.
What is flamenco?
Yeah. And just other classic moments like that. But now we go on to the big one, right?
Kill la Kill.
Kill la Kill. Oh, God. Where do we begin? Someone begin somewhere.
Well, I guess someone recap what happened. What episode 21?
21? How far back are we going?
I don't know. I don't remember. Oh wait, it's a
24 episode show.
23.
Oh, then I guess what? 23. Yeah.
We'll go back to 23. I think.
So that's when they're
23.
flying after to go fight the big life fiber.
Okay.
With Ragu on it.
That's right.
And so it's like they reach her and she reaches in and pulls out basically hardened life fibers, which were basically scissor blades.
They were needle blades, actually.
Needle blades. Whatever. Same thing. They're made of the same material.
Yeah.
Basically.
And she just wrecks both of them.
I mean, which you kind of expect. I did enjoy the whole the cutting through the heart of the life fiber. It kind of reminded me a lot of Gurren Lagann, which
And the last two episodes had a lot of Gurren Lagann stuff.
Oh,
I guess the last two episodes in general. I don't know, actually, I thought it was a lot more sane than Gurren Lagann.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, really. We'll get to it when we get to the last episode. But
we get to see we get to see everyone's new uniforms.
The uniforms were pretty cool, actually.
All the new Ultima uniforms were awesome.
Even the cyber guy.
He was a ninja.
Even the cyber guy was pretty cool, which is saying something because most of his uniforms were stupid.
And then there's that whole part where he's like, I can't hold back, or the sword guy was like, I can't hold back against you. So he just takes off his...
No. He attacks Ragu. Yeah, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ragu's like, a blind man's blade will never hit me. And he rips off the blindfold. And he hits her.
My eyes are open now!
Because now he can see. The blindness is gone. That was incredible. That was one of my favorite parts, because it was just like, what? Why? What? Yes.
That was my favorite part of episode 23.
It's like all of... Not even that, but it's like all their uniforms are a combination of their past uniforms and the nudist beach designs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was nice. The fight scene in 23, I thought was just awesome. It was just straight up awesome.
That was such a high point. And then 24 just starts with a fight.
24 goes just boom right into the fight in the academy.
It's like it started. The episode ended with them marching on the academy, and just starts in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, pretty much. I forget. Wait, so Nui is killed at the very end by...
Nope, she's not killed.
Yeah, she's never actually beaten, is she? She's fighting the four Devas, and then Ragu kind of just, hey, pop off your head for me.
That's during 24. That's like halfway into 24.
Yeah so they're trying to stop that missile rocket launch pad for a while. And then it's like, oh, they stopped it. Well, here's my backup plan. Nui, pop off your head.
Okay, wait. The first half of 24, that was the amazing fight for me.
Yeah.
That's when they do the cross, or the...
They do it! They do the X-Slash!
They do the X-Slash.
Oh, yeah, they
her
do.
up, and that entire fight scene is badass.
And somehow she's still alive?
Which bothered me because that wasn't the final blow. That's what bothered me. That wasn't the final blow.
No, I was what I'm going to say is what I was expecting her to do is like what happened when Dio got cut in half, just kind of adjust his head back to the right shape.
Okay, I want to go back to the beginning of the fight, because this is when it starts going Gurren Lagann. So, Satsuki can now hear Senketsu.
Yeah.
Completely new. And what does he do?
A drill.
He becomes a drill.
He becomes a drill. Yeah.
Technically, he becomes a rocket-powered blade-spinning thing.
He becomes a drill. Let's be honest here.
He impales Ragyu, and then starts spinning in his blade gale form, becoming a drill, piercing her, allowing freeing everyone from her control, basically.
Yeah, what an overpowered uniform. Just, I control all uniforms.
Yeah.
That was pretty overpowered.
It was it was also a giant butterfly.
But Matoi and Senketsu are technically both part human and part clothing, so they don't fall under the clothing domination thing. So they're able to keep fighting somehow. And then becomes a drill, impales her. They do the goddamn awesome X-slash and then, like, cutting her into pieces. And then Gamagori becomes a Gurren Lagann.
No, he becomes a gunman for a second. That was weird. I was like, wait, his face is in his chest. Okay.
Yes, I loved when Gamagori became a gunman. He becomes a gunman, and that was the best thing ever. When he just boom, his face on his stomach, and then just starts shouting his faces. He starts shooting his face.
I don't think it's that. His face was on his stomach, but he also had his face on his face.
Yeah.
I think
which is what Gurren Lagann is.
Yeah, I know, but
he's got
still.
the head, and then he's got the gunman body.
Oh, whatever.
Which is why I'm like...
The important part is he shoots his face out of his face.
He shoots his face out of his face to destroy a tower. After saving Mankanshaku.
Mako.
He sacrifices himself for her, and then gets up later because he's a man.
I know. It's like, wait, you just sacrificed yourself. How are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But that entire part, I wish it would have just ended there.
Dude, the X-Slash. It should have been the final blow.
Yeah.
I agree, the X-Slash should have been the final blow.
It should have ended with the X-Slash and the blowing up of the tower.
But then it's like, hey, Nui, just pop off your head for a second and combine with me, and we're gonna go fly to the moon.
Nui, pop off your head. Merge with the original life fiber.
Then merge with me.
And then merge with me.
and then we're going to space.
Rocket.
We're gonna become a rocket. The rocket thing was just kind of silly.
But then you get a Ryuko grabbing everyone's power and uniforms and going into basically God form and flying up there too.
She goes into supersonic form.
No, the name
supersonic form.
No,
Sonic. What do you call Sonic super form?
Supersonic.
Sonic. And there we go.
Why didn't you just say Super Saiyan? Just go back to the original source.
Because she was spiky, like Sonic.
So is Goku!
But her hair didn't go up.
But she got the two extra... Or she got the little cat ear things got super big.
Senketsu's other eye opens.
And Senketsu's other eye opens was pretty bad. But the title of that transformation seems so stupid to me. At least the translation of the title.
What was it again?
Senketsu Fashion Week.
Yes! Fashion Week!
Oh, I loved that. I loved that name.
It was so stupid.
I thought it was so stupid.
But it was so great how stupid it was.
See, I didn't think it was that great. I think they could have done better than Fashion Week.
Then they do a whole thing where she fights with the combined scissor blade.
No, she tries to, and it gets knocked away.
Oh, but she combines it first.
Yeah, she combines it, and then it doesn't do anything.
Well, it gets tossed around a bit.
A little bit.
And then all the dialogue from that point on, I was like, this is really stupid and not in a good way dialogue.
It got kind of cliche at the end.
A little bit. And, she basically pulls a Mega Man, steals her powers, and frees the Earth.
Yeah. I thought...
But, come on, Ragyu killing herself.
Okay, yeah, that was...
That was good. Yeah.
That was good. What I wish would have happened? They wouldn't have done the X-Slash on Earth. And it was Matoi and
I wish
Kiryu
yeah.
going into space to do the X-Flash.
I wish the final fight. I wish the final fight.
The ending so much.
I wish the final fight was more like the fight that they had in the last episode. You know, where Satsuki and Ryuko were both fighting Kiryu when she was standing on the original life fiber. Except for instead of having the needle blade, she would just have her ultimate uniform doing all of its butterfly wing slashes.
And
I 100%.
Both of those fights kind of ended the same way. Matoi taking a blow in order to deal the final blow.
Yeah.
But
I mean I was pretty disappointed the final fight didn't have Satsuki.
And the fight didn't seem that epic. It just seemed like Ragyu's continually stabbing her, and then her taking over Ragyu's uniform.
Look, it's no Simone punching the anti-spirals in the face.
It is that.
That scene is so amazing because it's like Tengen Toppan Gurren becoming the next one, becoming the next one.
Dude, in the movie, it's way better because it's a full-on fist fight with the anti-spiral.
Nice. I need to watch that.
Yeah, I need to watch the movies too.
But and then it's like they have to return to Earth and Senketsu burns up.
Yeah.
Also, no one wears underwear under their uniforms, apparently.
Well, that all burned up too.
No, like everyone else who gave up their uniform.
Oh, well, that's because it was all Reeboks.
Yeah, I assume that's what it was. Well, except how can Mako is
Mako was in her underwear at some point.
I don't get how I guess I don't know. I felt like
Reeboks, man, Reeboks.
All right. It ended on a cute scene where it's just Ryuko and Mako going on a date,
and they meet up with Satsuki. Don't forget that they meet up with Satsuki.
Nope. That was a good closure ending kind of thing going on.
There's gonna be a 25th OVA episode that's kind of like an epilogue.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's like a confirmed epilogue episode.
Okay. I do. The very last part of the end scene, where she looks over during the date thing, and she sees a little girl wearing a sailor uniform, and she just sees Senketsu. Why Senketsu?
Why is Senketsu dead?
That was pretty feels. It's like, why? It didn't have to happen like this.
Dude, and Senketsu, the whole speech Senketsu gave while going through the atmosphere protecting her.
It didn't have to happen.
I've never felt such emotional attachment to a piece of clothing. It's like One Piece when they burned the first boat. I knew it was coming too.
Yeah, actually. Okay, you know what's kind of insane? How popular One Piece is. I'm kind of going on a tangent right here, but One Piece has sold twice as many manga books. I don't know, as anything else ever.
Yeah. You know how many episodes there are?
What? 6,000?
There's 900 episodes.
Wow. I remember watching it when it first came out, and now there's 900 episodes. And it's the #1 best-selling manga of all time.
It's
fine, not even close.
It's really good.
Insane number.
It's really good.
Is it really that good? Because seemed so eh.
If you watched the 4Kids anime, which aired in America, that was terrible.
I guess that is what I watched.
Yeah, that was the worst thing ever. That's why 4Kids stopped doing it.
Well, maybe I'll give it a watch sometime.
No, you won't give it a watch because it's 900 episodes.
You forget that I will be spending 6 months out of the year at sea as soon as I graduate.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Are there any other series you wanted to bring up?
Well, what do you guys...
Zvezda.
Wait.
Yes, scores. Well, okay.
Because
I mean, it's kind of. Can anyone not give it a 10? Just how much? How?
I give it a 9.
You didn't?
I gave it a 9.
You gave it just a 9.
Just a 9. They should have ended it at the X/. That would have been a 10. That would have been a 10. To be honest,
I considered actually giving it a 9 for the very same reason, but I mean, I had to. For me, I thought, okay, it's a 25 episode show, and that's pure ending. What do I want to call it?
Spite, anger.
Yeah, like just because the ending was bad, like I had to remember all the times I was on literally the edge of my seat, freaking out over how
Truman,
into it I was.
Truman,
That I forgave the. What's up?
you gave a show. I remember you telling me you gave a show a higher grade just because of the ending.
Yes.
I can give a show a lower grade just because of the ending.
Oh, I'm not saying okay. I'm not saying you should give it a 9. If that's what you want to give it, that's what you'll give it. I'm just explaining my
okay.
thinking versus yours.
Okay, then that's fine. I just want to make sure you're not like.
Yeah.
You should be giving.
Nathan, you are wrong, according to Truman.
If you gave it a 9, then that's what you gave it. I'm not telling you your score is wrong. You're allowed to give us score whatever anything you want.
Okay, good.
Jay?
Yeah, I probably am going to give it a 10. I'm just going to let it stew for a bit, and then when I think back to it...
I mean, that's... I knew that when I did come back to it, I would give it a 10. Like, my initial reaction was 9, because I just didn't like how that end fight. But I knew when I'd come back to it, I would give it a 10. So, I just went for it.
So, Truman, what other shows did you watch that you want to mention?
Okay. First, I want to bring up Season 2 of Choo-Choo, which I went through. I finished.
You finished it too?
And the ending, did you as well?
Yeah, I finished it.
God, the last episode was the worst. It was like the worst of the bunch. I didn't think it could get so bad, but it did.
They brought back the side character that we totally forgot.
They brought back they went full on fucking autistic. How do humans work? It was just like, Jesus Christ. Could every character in the show be any more?
There was a part in it
disgustingly pathetic.
There was a part in it that was flashbacks. All the flashbacks are from the first season. There was a montage of flashbacks of the better season where it should have ended.
The only saving grace for this show is that I like Dekamori's character.
I like, actually, man, I can't believe I forgot her name. Maybe because it's been 2 weeks since I saw that, since I've seen the show. The new girl they added.
I didn't think she was too bad.
She was more athletic than most of them. Because, like, you see
Dekamori was my favorite.
It's like you see Dekamori hanging over the bars, and she's actually standing on it saying, "Don't go anywhere."
But just in general, it was just so. God, it was so awful, and it was a series of awful, and I gave it a 1. Maybe I gave it a 2. I don't remember actually right now. But it was. It was really low.
I'll say it's bad. I don't really know what I'll give it.
Okay, I gave Season 1 a 9. I gave Season 2 a 1.
That adds up to a total of 5 average.
It was so... I was filled with so much hatred. Like, the show, maybe objectively, it wasn't as bad as something like, I don't know, other ones that I've given shows, but I was just filled with such disgust and hatred at the show that's what really made it a 1 for me. That's what sold it as a 1. Because not only was it bad, it was just like murdering and destroying everything that the first season had done.
I want to bring up Witchcraft Works.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Witchcraft Works is a weird series with way too many characters, because I don't remember jack shit about any of them, except for the 5 witches and the 2 main characters, and their mothers.
Okay, I don't understand what happened in the whole...
No idea. I have no clue.
5 episodes.
No clue.
I do not understand. I have no
Something
idea
about magic protecting all the people in the town, and he became one with that magic. And then something about the White Queen. And something about deals and stuff. The thing I want to bring up...
The story was so convoluted.
The thing I want to bring up is I like that world. They put in just way too many characters, so maybe like a second season where they're not... with less characters would be cool. But there was there were these weird parts in it where it was like they would be in the middle of this huge fight, and then it would just cut to one of the 5 idiot witches talking to like the stuffed bear, and then it would just cut back to the middle of the fight. It's like, wait, why was that there? It just had weird cuts. It was a weird show.
I will give you. It was really weird. It just. But I enjoyed it because it was just like, at no point did I think the creators were doing something because they felt they had to. They did what they did because they wanted to do it. Like, it was so out there and hard to follow, and I only understand the very basics of what happened in storyline wise. But the fights were cool. The characters, there was a lot of characters. I really got the feeling that, I don't know, there was this big world, and I wasn't getting the full picture.
True, I guess you can't remember everyone in the world.
Exactly.
I did not watch the show, but I did listen to a podcast where someone talked about it, and apparently that company that made it quite often makes shows where there are just too many characters. Like, they just adopt megas where there are too many characters.
I see you listen to the same podcast as me.
I guess so.
Man, I wish Devil and Biscuit Hammer would get an anime adaptation. Actually, no, I don't, because it probably wouldn't live up to...
It would probably be the most awesome thing ever, but...
God, I wish it would be so great.
So that's it, right? We're done with all of them?
No, I wanted to bring up Zvezda.
Okay, in the last 3 episodes, shit got really real really fast.
Shit got like really real. It was like this, like, it was like, boom, lighthearted, going along with the beat. Oh, wait, what'd you give Witchcraft Force before we get to Zvezda?
Probably like a 6.
Okay, I gave it a 6 too. Alright, so Zvezda was kind of just like, going along with the whole thing. It was just rocking away. And then boom, it was like boom, here is the final arc, and shit got intense. They had the whole,
their house gets blown up, they're under the pursuit of the military all the time. People start dropping dead, presumably.
Yeah, they do the whole, what I don't know what you call the trope, but when the main cast dies one by one to let the rest of the cast get to the next kind of area.
I don't know.
It's a common
Go on without me.
I know. I guess we can call it that. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty common, but but overall, I loved the show because it was just so. What is it? I don't even know. What's the best way to put it? It was just so over the top in the best way. It was kind of there was a story behind stuff, but they didn't really hint at it. They explained some things, but never really anything. And everything felt just so fantastical and out of the world. I loved it. I loved how just the whole world that they created. I thought the characters were great. So, I mean, I loved this show.
Okay.
Jay, your thoughts? I think you finished it though, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, I finished it, and I'm just like, okay, it's done. It was good, but there's nothing really there for me.
Alright. Well, I gave it a 9.
I don't know. I'm still thinking on things.
You're still thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. It's definitely one... I don't know. I would recommend to people. At the very least, recommend to people.
So that's it for this season of anime, right?
That's it.
So what are we watching next season?
Are you guys' bodies ready for JoJo?
Well, we're all watching JoJo.
Yeah, I am so excited for JoJo.
Have you been practicing your poses?
Did you guys see the huge conversation I had with Sam about the poses?
The best poses ever?
No.
Like, did you guys actually see it?
I saw
it. Okay. Nate, I don't know if since you didn't, I'll kind of give you the gist. Sam linked some article to me, I guess, about how some guy wrote an article about playing the JoJo All-Star Battle game, and they wrote about like, oh, now I understand like the feminist perspective of women in video games are over-sexualized because when I played JoJo, I felt very uncomfortable with how homoerotic the characters were.
What's so homoerotic about this?
I don't remember which one I linked. Oh, I linked the one with what was it? I know the blonde guy from part 2 in like with like the mid like the
like his jacket falling off, and what was it? Joseph was walking forward like pulling off his shirt or something.
And then after that, I think I linked this what are they called? The Stone Men, the Tomb Men, Cavemen?
The Pillar Men.
The Pillar Men. I linked it like a pillar, like a drawn fan art of the Pillar Men, but the Pillar Men were kind of like in various stripper poses, but with just their what do you call it?
Loincloths.
Loincloths, yeah. And I'm like, what could possibly be gay about this? And then I basically went into this big rant about how I loved JoJo, and the sexy poses were actually one of my favorite parts of JoJo.
Dude, are you ready for more sexy poses? Even more iconic sexy poses. Because let me tell you, there are quite a few poses in this one that are just the greatest.
Kind of like, but like what, Joestar? Joseph Joestar? That was the last one, right? Part 2? Yeah. The whole hand across the face with the other hand jutting out in like a really... Whoosh, that's a pretty iconic one.
And then there's actually just... what's his name? What's this guy's name again? No. Holy crap, I forgot his name. For part 3.
Oh, Jotaro.
Jotaro? Just his whole look is iconic.
Yeah, his
for delinquent.
Okay, I just want to bring up something. So I want to show Nate the exact things I linked. So I typed in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and for a show that features really almost exclusively Arnold Schwarzenegger, like male Arnold Schwarzeneggers in like on steroids, like the top 5 pictures if you Google JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is like the 2 females in the series, which I think is pretty funny.
But, so we're all going to be watching JoJo, part 3.
I think that's obvious.
And then we're going to have to try and figure out the question of where does his hat start and his hair begin. Because that's fucking impossible. But, what were you guys picking again?
I picked the rabbit one that's also by White Fox.
It is.
Oh yeah, the Rabbit Cafe.
I don't. Yeah, it's the Rabbit Cafe. I don't actually remember.
Gochuman wa Usagi Desuka?
Yeah, that one. By the way, these are the 2 pictures I linked. Sam, Nate.
Yeah, I actually saw the first one, but I didn't. The third one.
The second one is great.
God damn it.
What could possibly be homoerotic about this?
That was the perfect one to send.
No, but that one that what's the guy's name? The blonde guy in the first picture, the whole hand across the face. That's
yeah, Caesar's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caesar, the hand across the face pose and stuff.
Yeah, that's an iconic one.
There's just so many great poses in this series.
It's true. There is just so many great poses.
And the anime's only scratching the surface. So you chose Rabbit Cafe. This is what I'm going to be calling it.
Yes.
Nathan, what are you picking?
I think I'm going to go with Akuma no Riddle.
Akuma no Riddle?
Yeah, the one with the assassins in the school.
Okay.
Oh, joy.
What? You guys said it looked good.
No, I never said that.
Okay.
Jay, you don't have any right to talk. You specifically changed your pick just to pick something you also know is going to be awful.
Look, we did multiple choice.
Which is why would we do this again?
We have to do flags. We have to
How
fill
weird.
out everything else.
Okay, well, my other choice, if you guys don't want to do a Kumino riddle, will be break played.
Oh.
No, do a Kumino riddle. That was your pick. That's what we're doing.
Okay, then we're doing a Kumino riddle.
All right.
But we have to do flags. We have to do, what is it called? Kenjoga flag wo warata.
Sorry, can you speak English, or are you permanently retarded?
Well, technically it's not in English.
That's true, isn't it?
So shut the fuck up.
God.
But I have to tell you something about the wonderful studio that is bringing flags to us. Okay? This wonderful studio has worked on, it's like the season before this one, the BlazBlue anime, Mysterious Girlfriend X. BlazBlue anime was terrible, but Mysterious Girlfriend X, you like that, right, Truman?
I loved Mysterious Girlfriend X.
They also the same company that brought us Quasar.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the shit? Are you serious? How? How do they go from like... How do they jump like that?
So we have that to look forward to next season.
God, I kind of want to rewatch JoJo.
And honestly, how bad could flags be?
I mean, are you seriously asking that?
Yes?
As bad as multiple choice was, is the answer.
Oh god, that's gonna suck.
Is it the same company that did multiple choice?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
They did Quasar, remember?
Yeah, they did Quasar.
So we're good, right?
I believe
I
so.
think so.
Okay. So that's it for the weekly watch this week. Tune in next week when we finish Mushishi.
Hooray.
I'm Darkly 10,000. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mushishi. It's just a fun word to say for a title.
Yes, it is.